Hey Flosstube, it's Brandy. Whoops. Whoops, big thumb. This is Brandy from Every Home Needs a Gnome, and it's good to be back. I recorded actually yesterday, but it was a frightful mess, and while I like to be authentic and transparent and honest and real with everyone, it was chaotic at best. So I decided nobody needed to see that big hot mess. So I'm doing another one today. So this is going to be a relatively quick video, as most of mine are, because I am going to be going into Joann's in just a little bit and picking up some fabric. So yay for me. I'm feeling really bunched up. I don't know why. You ever have that day, those kinds of days where you just like everything feels really bunchy? Weird, I know. Okay, so let's get started. Hi. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. I hope that you will go check out the back catalog and stay with me. It's good to have you here, and I'm always excited to make new stitchy friends. It's been a lot of fun getting to know people. If you are a return viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. It has been seriously a complete joy to me to get to know people in the comments a little bit and to kind of learn what you guys are all into and where you're from and things just beyond stitching even. So I've really appreciated all of the comments. I know that there are some people that I have not yet returned comments to. I do read all of them, and I do try to comment on all of them. So if I haven't responded to you, be patient. I will do my best. At the very least, I will like or heart comments. So I always thought it was weird when I'd hear people on YouTube talk about like how time consuming it can be to respond to everybody, because I'm thinking, how hard can it be? It can get really, it can bog a person down. And so now all of a sudden I know that. So anyway, I guess it's a good problem to have so many people that are kind of part of your tribe. What a cool problem. Because it's not a problem, right? Anyway, let's talk stitchy stuff. First of all, I wanted to show you something. Because if you've watched my last video, my last actual Flosstube video, you'll know that I was at the beach with my mama. And while we were there, I had mentioned that we were going to be doing some antique shopping. So at this particular beach, they have an antique mall, and we went to that, as well as like a junk store, and I think we tried to go to some other places, but they weren't open, and I can't remember why. But anyway, we went to this antique mall, and I was on a quest. I was on a quest to find an antique piece of cross stitch something, and there was literally only one in the entire place, and it was way far out of my price range, so I did not get that. The other thing that I was looking for were antique pin cushions, because come on, they're the cutest, and I love them. And it wasn't until the very, very last place, the last kind of booth thing that we went to, and they had some curio cabinet things that were locked up, and I found this. This is not, it's hard to see maybe. Okay, you guys, this is a chair. It's like a little settee. I don't know. It's a chair pin cushion. There's just a little piece of foam stuff in there, I guess. But look, it's made out of a tin can. And the shop owner and I were speculating, I think it's trying to snow. Ain't nobody speculating there. I got snowflakes. Yay. The whole rest of the world is like, seriously, we're so over snow. In Oregon, we're like, yay, it's snowing. Because we have not seen nearly as much as everywhere else in the world. And by world, I just mean the United States. Because I am just that egocentric? I don't know. Ethnocentric. American-centric. Anyway, back to this. The shop owner and I were speculating that this is probably something that was made around the 40s, sometime in the 40s. And what it literally looks like is that some man took a pretty large sized tin can. I mean, I don't have the biggest hands in the world, but I mean, you can see it's a pretty good sized can. And then just tin snipped it and just shaped everything into this adorable pincushion, and took like one of her taffeta dresses and used that as the top. And I think it's utterly delightful. It makes me so, so happy. And I love it. So that was my little treasure that I found. And I was very excited to find it. Speaking of old things, these are not as old. Bella's getting into my percussive instruments. I don't know why. She's never sat on my music bag before, and suddenly she's decided to sit on the bag that carries my tambourines. What in the world? Anyway, so I've mentioned before that I started and it stopped snowing. Literally like 10 flakes and now we're done. It's a weird day. Anyway, so I had mentioned before that I started stitching when I was a little girl, and that was probably in the, I'm going to say early 80s-ish, and probably around 81, 82 was probably when my grandma gave me my first cross-stitch kit, and it was probably just one of those little, like, you know, you get the, like, plastic frame thing, and then you stitch a little teddy bear or whatever and pop it into the frame. It's probably something like that. And I don't have any of those from my childhood. But that was, in fact, what got me started into stitching. And then eventually, when I moved on to bigger stitchy things, there weren't a lot of things that were really in my style. In fact, there was nothing that I could find that was in my style. But there were things that were kind of close. So this, because I really like samplers, and this was literally about as close to a sampler as I could get. So here's close up. This was probably done, I'm going to say around 1996-ish. It was before we had kids, and that started in 99. So I probably started this around 96 or so, and maybe didn't finish it right away. But I was so proud of when I did finish it, because I just used pinking shears and I cut fabric, and then I made these little ribbon like holders. I actually had this like hanging from a dowel, and it just hung by our front door, and it's been folded since. So and I just stitched it onto the back of the fabric because I didn't know how else to finish it. I don't know why I didn't think of a frame. It's anybody's guess. And then this was probably around the same time period. I did a bunch of these kind of smaller things as little gifts for people. I kind of like this one. I think I might frame this one. And it's just on Ada oatmeal. Probably 16 or 18 count. I don't know. And then I did this one in 2004. And again, it wasn't really my style, but there weren't a lot of things out there that I knew of that were my style. So maybe designers were making things that were more like the reproduction samplers and stuff that I like back in 2004 time period, but I didn't know about them if they were. And here on the West Coast, like I've said before, there just isn't, needlework just isn't as valued or as prevalent, I guess, as it is over kind of in the Midwest and on the East Coast, where it's actually kind of recognized and celebrated. So it wasn't until I met my friend Beth, and she kind of introduced me to a new world, that I started stitching. And here's one of the very first samplers. In fact, this is, I think, the first sampler that I stitched that was more in my style. And here it is. It says, the fruit of prayer is faith. And I just put my initials. And I was so proud of this. Now, y'all, I ironed this, I promise, but those wrinkles just won't come out. I coffee stained it. I was so proud. I was so proud. And I hung it up, and I was looking at it, and I was like, there is something really wrong with this piece, and I can't figure out what it is. And then I saw it. Right there. You see it? I missed one of the little loop-de-loos. Just completely forgot it. And I thought about taking it out and fixing it. And then I thought, that's crazy talk. Because I like the fact that virtually everything I have ever stitched has a mistake in it. Everything I've ever drawn has a mistake in it. And that's okay, because life is full of mistakes, right? We all make them. None of us are perfect. I don't care how perfect you think you are, you're not perfect. And art isn't perfect. There's always something that could be slightly better. Art and craft by nature is just kind of fraught with mistakes, which is, I think, why Bob Ross calls them happy accidents. Because those little mistakes force you to be innovative and creative, or kind of push past your own inadequacies, if nothing else. And so I keep my mistakes in, not all of my mistakes, and not ones that are glaringly bad. This one is definitely easily detectable, but I'm not going to worry about it, right? I mean, it's just a little loop-de-loo. It's not the end of the world. It's not a crisis. And I honestly, it's one of my favorite samplers that I've done, because it's this constant reminder that 100% I could have everything going great, and then at the end I could fall flat on my face, because that's exactly what happened. Was right at the end of that sampler, I fell short. I just fell short. Oh well, I always will, and that's okay. There's always going to be somebody who does it better and faster or neater or stronger or whatever than me, and I'm okay with that. So I keep the mistakes in, at least one little one, unless I'm selling to somebody, and then I'll make it perfect as I can, whatever. So anyway, let's talk stitching. Let's talk current stitching. So I screwed up. I'm going to have to go get something from my bag. Wait 1 second. All right. So I was sitting at dance last night, like I do 3 nights a week. Sometimes only 2. My husband sometimes takes Molly in now that he's working day shift. It's really nice. I appreciate it greatly. Sorry, this is going to be crinkly. I apologize. But only a little bit. So, first whip. It's the one you guys have seen me working on it. It's Winter Cometh by Summerhouse Stitchworks. Sorry, it's a lot of glare. There we go. And I've been stitching on this as part of my, like, come stitch with me videos. But then last night, while I was sitting there at dance, I decided to work on it some more. So this is how far I've gotten. I'm getting close to being done with that bird, like really close, which means I'm actually getting close to being done with the whole thing. Well, I don't know. There's still some to go. And I don't know. I had originally planned on just taking, because since I lost the peacock floss that's everywhere else, I had planned on just using the DMC, whatever number this is, to do the bird, and then everything else, since I can't find the peacock. But now I'm not sure. I might actually pick up a DMC that's lighter to finish the rest. I think that's probably what I'll end up doing, because I really kind of like the bird to stand out and be dark. I don't know. That's just my theory, or thinking right now. We'll see. So that's one WIP. I've only been working on a couple of things that I can show you, but I'll show them to you. Another thing that I picked up again recently was a gift that was sent to me by a stitchy friend. This came in a little package by Little, and it's a needle pillow, and I like it, and it's very cute. I was trying to find better lighting. I don't know why the lighting went weird, but it did. Anyway, so I'm not sure. I don't know what count of fabric this is. So I'm guessing that it's going to be the right size. I don't know. And it's going to be tight. I mean, look at that margin at the top. It is not going to be great. But I'll figure it out. I might just honestly do, one thing I did with another piece is I just cut the edging and kind of frayed it a little bit. And then I just mounted it onto, with upholstery tacks, I mounted it onto an old fence board that we have. And I might just do the same thing with this, honestly, because it's not, trying to find a frame is going to be a nightmare. And I don't want to custom frame it. It's just not worth it to me to do that. So, so provided the words all fit, God willing, that's what I'll probably end up doing for finishing it. And the fabric that I'm using was also in the same gift as the chart, and it's lamb's wool, and it's really interesting. It has a kind of a strange feel to it. It almost feels plasticky. What is up with that? I've never felt lamb's wool that felt plasticky. Very confused, but that's okay. I have noticed though that I need to use, because usually I use a 26 needle, and I have to use a 24 because it's a little bit stronger. And the 26 needles just kept bending. So, and then for my thread, I'm using Weeks Dye Works Cranberry Ice. Ooh, it matches my shirt. It's like I planned it. I didn't, but it's like I did. Let's pretend I did. All right, so there's that. And then, oh, and this is in one of my mommy's bags. The needle one is in one of my mom's little bags that she sent me. They're ducks. Little ducks. And then here's another bag that my mama sent me. Let's not look at the chart. My mom really likes bright colors. Sometimes I have to tell her to tamp it down just a little bit for me. But that's okay. She likes bright colors. I like them well enough. I just don't decorate with them, and I don't wear them. I wear a lot of black. It's my go-to. Anyway, this next piece is, I don't have the cover for it, but it's Beth Twist from Heartstring Samplery came out with it not too terribly long ago. And it's C is for Coffee in her alphabet series. And I'll tell you about this fabric here in just a little bit, but I have barely got a start on it. I have all of 2 E's. Oops. And the fabric is actually linen that I bought from Joann's. And I coffee stained it. Because I like using coffee, because I drink coffee. And my coffee maker completely went bonkers the other day. I went through 3 pots of coffee and didn't drink any of it. It was one of those kinds of days. Anyway, I'm not sure. I counted, and it seemed like it was 40 count. But then the X's look like it might be 36 count. I don't know. There are some people who are so good at just counting generally speaking, counting the thread counts on things. I'm terrible at it. I don't like to do it. It annoys me. I wish I didn't have to do it. But I ended up getting this like a half yard. I think it was about a half of a yard of this linen fabric at Joann's off the bolt. And it was on sale for like $8.25. I thought that was really impressive. Now it's not quite as fun to stitch on as like Picture This Plus or R&R, whatever it is that I've been using. I think I've been using Picture This Plus. It's not quite as fun to stitch on as that. But I also haven't really stitched on it very much. So I'm going to kind of give it a go with C is for Coffee with this piece here and see how I feel about it. And then I'll come back and report more later if I remember. We'll see. I maybe won't, but I'll try. Okay, so the next thing that I have to show you guys is, speaking of stitchy friends. So I made a new stitchy friend because this stitchy friend loves gnomes. And I love gnomes. And us gnome lovers have to stick together, I think. I think that's how that works. And so she sent me, or tagged me in an Instagram that said, have you seen this? Gnome Sweet Gnome by Raise the Roof. And I said, why no, Glenn, I haven't seen that. Glenn from Southern Stitcher. And she said, well, guess what? I'm making it. And when I'm done, I'm going to send you the pattern. And I said, Glenn, that's awesome. I would love that. So the other day, I went to the post office box thinking there's going to be a pattern in there. Just a pattern. That little sneaky devil. Do you know what she did? She sent me this cute little card. This is a painting from Will Barnett called The Silent Seasons. This is winter from 1967. I just thought it was adorable. Okay, cute card. One pattern. But that's not all. No, 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 no. She sent me a whole stack of patterns. What? Right? Very cool, huh? Oh, I can't show you all of them because some of them don't have covers. But here's this little pin skep. Can somebody tell me what skep means? Because, I mean, you hear it like a bee skep. What is that? I don't know what that means. It's completely baffling to me. Anyway, here's a Lizzie and Kate winter smalls. Those are cute. I love those sheep. Those are so cute. Here's another Raise the Roof. And my goodness sakes, there's just patterns, you guys. There's just patterns. And it's so cute, so fun, so sweet. Glenn, I'm delighted. Thank you so, so much for thinking of me, for sending these on. Truth be told, some of them are not my style. And those ones I'm going to send on to other people whose style it is. I had to think about my grammar. Yeah. So there's some cute little teddy bears and some, I don't know, there's just some stuff. I'll figure it out. And then let me know, though, if there's a particular style or theme or something that you're looking for or that you particularly like to stitch, please let me know in the comments. And if I have something like that doesn't really fit my tastes or whatever, I'm happy to send this on to you because, I mean, let's share the stitch you love, right? And this was such a generous and sweet gift that I want to share it with other people. I've got some other things too from another stitchy friend that I'd like to forward on to other people. So let me know what you like, or if there's a particular theme or subject that you like to stitch. drop me a comment down below. Finally, I've got one last thing, which is good because I'm getting super hungry for lunch. And then I have shopping to do. So, in my video with my mom, we introduced her project bags. And I forgot what I was going to say. For like a half a second, my brain just completely stopped functioning. We introduced her project bags, and at that time, I showed one that we were going to do as a giveaway, and it was this one. And we were calling it a puppy bag because of those cute little paw prints. Those are not puppy paw prints. Those are kitty paw prints. Courtesy of, let me look at her name, Zoe Robinson. Zoe let me know. Those are cat prints. I'm not a vet. I have a cat. I have 2 dogs. I didn't know. Oops. So anyway, what we've been calling the puppy bag is actually the puppy kitty bag. So 26 people said that they would like to win the puppy kitty bag. And I have a winner. And that winner's name is Angela Springett. Angela, I am going to link, or I'll comment on your comment to let you know that you won. And then I need you to just email me or DM or whatever your mailing address, and I'd be happy to get this in the mail to you. Congratulations. Yay. So yeah, there's that. And we're getting close to 500 subscribers, which is just kind of phenomenal to me. Who knew? Who knew? I did not know. But I'm delighted to have so many people as a part of this community that love stitching and love being honest about mental health and just life in general. It's all good. It's so good. And I'm so happy to be a part of this community with you guys and to see it in other floss tubes and to see those. It's just, what a cool community. I mean, I say it every time, but I mean it. But on the front of mental health, just a check-in. I'm mental health-wise doing pretty good. Physical health-wise, a little bit less good. I don't know that I've mentioned it before, but I have adrenal fatigue, and it's been pretty under control, but I can tell when things are starting to get out of balance. I kind of hit a wall, and like I just have to sleep, and my body just and my brain kind of all shut down. I get really irritable and will start. I won't necessarily start yelling at people, but I'll want to rip their faces off. And I don't think that's probably a healthy response to any situation. So I know when I feel like ripping somebody's face off just for saying something like, "Hi, how are you doing today?" probably I need to reevaluate where I'm at in my health. So I've kind of been in that place lately where I can tell that I need to up my medication and kind of think about some self-care methods and making sure that my sleep hygiene is good, which is a weird phrase, sleep hygiene. But it just means, are you getting regular sleep? And that's something that I learned through counseling. Yeah. So I'm just trying to kind of take care of myself a little bit. And in the meantime, some things are kind of getting dropped by the wayside, which isn't fun. It always frustrates me when I can't do as much as I want to do and as much as I feel like I should be doing. And I end up putting a lot of expectation on myself for how much I should be getting done. I have a lot of shoulds. I live by the should, and I just shouldn't. So It's a thing I need to work on. I need to remember to be still and trust in God, and I don't always do a good job of that. If you are not a believer of God, that's fine. We can still be friends, but I'm going to talk about God a little bit, just because that's what I do. But I'm not ever going to try to force them on you, because that'd be gross and weird. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Where are you guys at? How are you doing? Have you been getting enough sleep? Have you been getting enough exercise? I have not. Have you sat down and had a good conversation with somebody who cares about you deeply? I hope that you have. If you haven't, take the time. Do that. Make a phone call. Touch base with somebody and remind them how valuable they are. And in the process, you hopefully will be reminded of how valuable you are. Yeah. So anyway, you guys, take care. Keep stitching. Always keep stitching, because stitching is good therapy. And it's not free. But it's cheaper, I think. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on your shopping habits when it comes to stitching. For me, it's cheaper. Anyway, you guys, have a fabulous day. I love the heck out of you. And I will see you on the flip side. All right, stitch on. Bye.